There is nothing wrong with taking a time out if you don't have the capacity to be happy for someone in the way they need or to celebrate them in the way that they need. Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about the moments where it's hard to be happy for the people that we love the most. Where it gets hard is when we are in some of the lowest points in our lives while some of the people we love and care about are in the highest points in theirs. And that space in between where we are and where they are can be very, very difficult for us to close in some situations. So I wanted to come on here and give you a little bit of grace if you find yourself in a situation where you're happy for somebody, what they're accomplishing, what they're going through, their milestones, while also at the same time very sad and unhappy about where you currently are and the fact that that person's joy is reminding you of the fact that you're not where you want to be. When you can't fully feel joy for others, it can make you feel as if you're a bad person, as if you don't care, as if you're selfish. And I want to let you know that that is not the case. Because at the end of the day, what we feel, we cannot control, but what we do with our feelings is what we can control. So if you are finding that somebody in your life is in a place where you should be overjoyed for them, but there's a piece of you that is struggling to get to that, I want to help you change your perspective on that. Give yourself grace while also being able to honor that person and their milestone in a way that will be what they deserve and also not be overwhelming to you. There is nothing wrong with taking a time out if you don't have the capacity to be happy for someone in the way they need or to celebrate them in the way that they need. I think this is where it really gets tough for people, where you know what you're feeling and you know what you should be feeling, and you start to try and fight against your feelings to be there for that person, but those feelings are way too strong. I am a firm believer, and I hope that you can take this away too, in taking a time out. If I know that my attitude, the way I'm feeling, what I'm processing internally, that probably has nothing to do with someone who I love and I care about, could have a negative impact on them, I step away. But trust me, in the long run, people will always be more thankful that you were able to make the executive decision to take a step back instead of joining in and forcing yourself to be somewhere that you didn't have the energy to be and becoming a rain cloud over their situation. Sometimes other people's situations will remind us that we are lacking certain things in our life, and that doesn't mean that you're not happy for them. That doesn't mean that you don't love them. That doesn't mean that you don't care for them. That doesn't even mean that you wish them bad. What it means is that this is a shocker to you, and it's reminding you of the fact that you want your own version of that. It could be something that you need to actually step up and do the work on, or it could be something that you're patiently waiting for your turn to come. But in all situations, it has nothing to do with that person. And I would say when you are feeling like this, especially about someone who you love and care for, have the conversation with them. Let them know what you're feeling. Let them know why you're stepping away, and also express the fact that you have tremendous joy and happiness for them. But this internal part of you is what is causing you to not be able to express it to the fullest of your ability. If the person really is your friend, if there's someone who loves you and cares about you, I'm not saying they won't be disappointed. They probably will be. But at the end of the day, looking long term, they will respect you so much more for your honesty and candor than if you were to just hold it in and force yourself into places where you're not ready or able to be. I also want you to be able to take time with your emotions. When you experience negative emotions, when it comes to somebody who you care about giving you good news, the first instinct could be to just want to push it to the side and ignore it. But that is not going to do anything for you. Our emotions are information, and it becomes our responsibility to decide what we are going to do with that information that has been given. So brushing it to the side is not the best way to deal with it, because what's going to happen? It's going to come up again. It's going to come up again and again. And then you're going to start to have attitude about it because you haven't faced it. And now it's going to become a monster that you cannot control. So what I want you to do when these feelings come up is to take time to yourself. Even if you can't do it in that exact moment, please take time to yourself to ask yourself, why am I feeling like this? You already know that I am a journal goddess. It's what I do. Write it down. Write down exactly what you're feeling. Write down the thought that came to your head. Write down how that thought even made you feel as well, and start to go through and process those emotions. You need to process those emotions because they are stemming from somewhere. And if you want to get rid of it, you have to get to the root so that you can uproot it and deal with whatever it is. But if you're sitting here feeling guilty, and because of that guilt, you're avoiding and you're pretending and you're faking and you're forcing yourself, you're not dealing with the issue. And as I said, it's going to come back. So get to the root of why you're feeling like that instead of making yourself feel even more guilty for what you're feeling. Ask yourself, what is it that made me feel like this? What is it triggering? What are my responsibilities in this situation? What can I do to make it better? And if I can't do anything to solve this situation, what can I do to ease my anxiety or the discomfort that I'm currently feeling in this situation? We are living in unprecedented times. Things are difficult, things are different, and because of that, we can be triggered by a lot of things that we wouldn't even have thought would have triggered us. But you owe it to yourself and to those around you to get to the bottom of that. And that will never happen if you're operating in guilt. You can be happy for somebody and everything that they have going on, while actively being sad for yourself that you don't have your version of it yet. You don't want theirs. If somebody's getting married and you're single and you feel sad, it's not because you want to marry their husband. I hope not. I hope it's not. But it's because you want your version of that, and seeing someone get theirs and seeing the joy that they feel reminds you of the fact that you want that joy as well. This isn't envy. This is just our lives showing us what's important to us, and seeing it face to face reminds us of the gap that it has left in our personal situations. So step away. If you don't have the energy or the capacity to fully celebrate someone in the way they deserve, step away, give it time, communicate with that person, feel the emotions that you're going through, and give yourself the grace to pass through to the other end instead of ignoring these feelings because they don't go away. I really hope that this helps you. I hope that you share it with a friend who might be going through the same thing. I hope that if in the past you felt these feelings, that you can now release yourself of the guilt or the shame attached to it. And I hope that you can enjoy with the people you love to the best of your ability. So please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.